We have to actually go right at, because of the way it works with YouTube, you gotta be right on the hour, so. We'll cue you, yeah. Another minute or two, probably.
Okay, we're all set? Okay, I guess we're all set. We've got a whole new system in here this evening, and hopefully everything goes well with the recording and sound and so on. Anyways, April 9th, welcome to the planning board meeting. We have a few items on our agenda this evening, not very big agenda. But, would you join in a pledge of allegiance? Pledge of allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Mr. Anderson?
Here.
Mr. Kashani?
Here.
Mr. Giardina?
Present.
Mr. Kosel?
Here.
Mr. Malta?
Here.
Mr. Mixel?
Present.
Mr. Artuso?
Here.
Mr. Taylor?
Here.
Okay, we have well, actually, we should start with the Lochner subdivision, which was on the agenda, but they had asked to repeat it again. We're still working on the drainage issues over there, so moving on with that one. Military, want to go ahead, Mark, and read it?
Bellinger, Section 2, located near the southwest corner of Salt and Schlegel Roads, the applicant Tom Thomas of 800 Phillips Road LLC is requesting final site plan and subdivision approval associated with the construction of 60 townhomes on a 26.8-acre parcel located in a medium-high residential district under Section 269-9 and 296-19 of the Code of the Town of Webster.
Good evening, my name is Mike Ritchie from Costage Engineering, representing the owner and developer, Tom Thomas from Tremac Development. We were last before this board a few months ago presenting the project, and basically the biggest issue, the biggest takeaway from that meeting was dedication or ownership of the road right away, utilities, stormwater, infrastructure and the like. Since that meeting, the owner has met with the town staff, and to my knowledge, they've come to an agreement that the road, the utilities, the stormwater management facilities will remain private. They will be designed and constructed per town standard. So in the future, there could be a possibility the town could consider dedication, although that is not what the town is willing to do at this point in time. We did receive comments, PRC comments. From that time, those have been addressed, and subsequently we did receive additional comments from town staff. The first was that all references to town easements be removed from the plans, which they have. The town highway superintendent, upon review of the neighboring development, the Meadows 2 subdivision, requested that the stormwater management from this development not tie into that dedicated stormwater management facility. So we revised the stormwater design for the western portion of the site, the portion in red shown on the bulletin board. We've redesigned that to have the stormwater management wholly contained on site and discharge into the existing ditch. Everything else from the site plans is almost exactly as it was approved during the preliminary approval. We did receive some additional comments from the town engineer, I believe it was Friday, and we've reviewed those. We don't consider those comments to be difficult to address or to provide the town engineer with those calculations that are requested, but I understand if the board would like to give the town engineer time to review that before making any decisions on the project, I understand. So with that being said, I think, you know, we wanted to come back, show you the changes that have been made, and ask if the board members had any questions or comments with the project as it currently stands.
Okay. Mike, you know, at the PRC meeting, and you're right, thank you for acknowledging that, they did say it was a short notice to really do calculations and so on and so forth. On the drainage, Josh is bringing it up there. That design where it goes in the back of lots 208, no, what's that, 203, 204, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Goes in the back of them there. There's really no backyard to those things. And then on the side of lot 203, it's only like 20 feet away from the
embankment.
From the house, from the structure.
And we've looked at that, and it's a little misleading the way the grading's done, because the actual static of the pond is much farther in. We can look to adjust those grades. It's realistically about 60 feet from water's edge to the nearest structure, which I went back and looked at what section 1 was, and to the pond of the nearest house was 67 feet, and the next closest was 74. So it's not a drastic change from what was previously approved, but we are going to take another look at this and see if we can kind of tweak some of this grading to give some of those units more usable area in their backyard.
If you can figure something out, but anyways, again, I just sketched that where lot 201 and 202 are there. I just drew a block out of that and just said, look, those two are really crimped in there along with the others, you know, 203 and 204.
Yep.
Can those two, I know you don't want to remove lots, I understand that 100%, but eliminate in back of the houses, in back of 03, 4, 5, 6, and then incorporate that into one square, clean pond.
Yeah, so the issue with the drainage in this area is, basically, I'm trying to see, excuse me, yeah, so lots 201 and 202 are on the north side of a ditch, a tributary to Mill Creek.
Right.
So that all drains to the north, to the ponds along Schlegel. That ditch, just to the south of those, or to the right on this drawing, there's a ditch that kind of bisects it. There's a culvert that crosses. That's the whole reason there's a stormwater pond here, is because there's actually that tributary to Mill Creek bisects the whole project. Originally, it was going to go to the pond on Meadows 2, because we can't cross over the creek to send it to the stormwater pond. So I think we are going to kind of sharpen our pencil a little bit here, see what we can do to, if we have to kind of elongate that. You know, there's more area going to the south. Maybe we could have a couple smaller basins instead of one large one, and accomplish the same goals.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I just felt that was kind of
blocked.
The rim of the pond was, you know, just roughly scaling it out. It looked like it was about 20 feet away from the nearest.
Yeah, and then that's kind of where the embankment slope starts. The
Yeah.
actual water's edge is way farther down.
Right.
You know, we understand, you know, we want to make sure this is done right, so we're going to take another look at it and in response to the town engineer's comments, look to address this.
That was the only concern I had as far as the new layout, and I'm not really, in all honesty, too familiar with what transpired with Tom and the attorneys and so on.
Right. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend that meeting, Tom. I don't know if you want to just kind of summarize, but from what was told to me, I think the town's in support of this project, but with it being for rent development, the town doesn't see it being a good use of resources to take dedication of it at this point in time. But if the situation with the town were to change and it were to be sold in the future, and it was not to be for rent in the future, that the town would consider taking dedication at that time. So understanding that, Section 1 was built all per, dedicated infrastructure standards. We want to stay consistent with that and continue Section 2 that way. So all the roads, gutters, stormwater, all the storm infrastructure is all going to be per town spec. It'll look no different from any other subdivision in the area.
Now, I know back then there was an issue with the tax structure. Was that been resolved? I have no idea what they discussed or.
No. Do you want to report, Tom?
Yeah. Go ahead, Tom, sure, please.
Nothing was discussed except that if it's considered rentals, it usually has and it's all privately owned, then it's usually a cheaper tax structure than if it was all dedicated roads. So that's why I think they want the roads and everything to stay private.
Okay. Anybody, any concerns or questions on it?
Wasn't there an issue brought up at the last time the applicant was here about the homeowners association and HOA?
Yeah, I believe that if one got sold, that's what you planned to, you would create an HOA.
Yes. If and when any of them got sold in the future,
Yeah.
there would have to be an HOA or dedicated roads.
All right, so at the time that the resolution is done, I think we need to recall that, make sure that's entered in there. Anything else? Josh, were there any other issues you know of that?
The one other issue I can think of is the connection between the Meadows 2 and Bellaterra, where it's going from public to private.
Yeah.
Is there going to be any plan for a turnaround for the town trucks for the
Yes.
public portion?
I just discussed this with Tom. This is one of the town engineer comments that came up. This area right here is the end of, it's Arrowwood Trail or Meadows 2. Originally, everything was proposed to be dedicated, but at this point, the end of the dedicated road will end at that property line. So what we've looked into and we're going to provide responses to is providing essentially a turnaround back into Arrowwood Trail to allow snowplows to adequately maneuver and turn back around and exit through Arrowwood Trail. And we'll work with that with the town engineer and the highway superintendent.
Now, are these lots in your first section, they're all individual lots, individual tax numbers? Is that the same situation?
Yes, there'll be a filed subdivision map of a private road. There'll be all individual lots with individual addresses and tax numbers.
All right, anybody, any other? All we had were just a couple of comments the last time. Anyways, the PRC, sewer department, highway department, they just wanted to be able, with engineering, wanted to have a chance to review calculations on the drainage, the water, and so on and so forth, to make sure it met the standards that they need to have. That's basically it. All right, so you want to ask to table it then?
Yeah, we request the table to the
Bring it
next.
to the next meeting, and
That'd be great.
they should have all that stuff, and then
Yeah, we're working on the responses now, and I'll work with Josh, and we'll get revised material
All right.
back up to the town with enough time to review them.
okay, so we're going to table it to the next meeting?
Yep, I think that's enough time for us.
It's May the 7th.
What is it?
May the 7th.
May 7th, so what motion is it?
I'll make a motion to table the application for Bellaterra Section 2 to the May 7th planning board meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're good. All right, I guess we're good then.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, first scheduled matter tonight is 1044 Sunset Trail dock extension, located at 1044 Sunset Trail. The applicant Douglas Webster is requesting waterfront consistency review and dock approval associated with the addition of a 4-foot wide by 30-foot long dock extension on a .56 acre parcel located in a medium-high residential district under sections 331-4 and 350-30 of the Code of the Town of Webster.
Yes, sir.
Hi, good evening. My existing dock is 4 foot wide by 56 foot long. At the end of the season last year, the water was less than 2 feet deep at the end of my dock, which is where my boat hoist is. The water was so low, I could not get my pontoon boat off without 4 people pushing it off my hoist. We could not get the hoist low enough in the water. In doing so, we tore all the electric lines out from underneath my pontoon boat. So that helps explain the need for this extension, where that should eliminate in the end of the season when the water gets very shallow at the end of the existing dock.
Okay, and so you're putting in 30 feet, right?
30 feet, correct.
So additional 30 feet to it. And that would have been a question, is why 30 feet? You just explained that, so that's good. The dock comes right straight off, so it doesn't infringe on, you know, at an angle into a neighbor, in front of a neighbor's house or anything like that. You got, can you guess, oh, you got it, he's got the, see the dock he's referring to right there?
I don't recall if my neighbors' docks are shown in that drawing.
Yeah.
Each of their docks are considerably farther out in the water than my
Yes.
dock is right now.
Yes, they are. Yeah. Actually, if you got a copy of this?
You know what, I forgot to bring, but
Here,
yeah.
take this.
Yeah, there you go, yeah.
You want this one?
No, I don't know.
Okay, all right.
You've got the shortest document.
Yeah, he does, got the shortest. Now, there was a response from a neighbor who's, I guess, a little bit away from you, who was concerned about boats in general and so on and so forth, and boat traffic and adding on to the dock, and it was going to be in front of her house, so on and so forth. Anyways, long story short, after going through it all, and we looked at this thing, it really doesn't hold a whole lot of credence. And I see no issue with this at all.
No.
You got your permit already from DEC, correct?
I have DEC, Army Corps of Engineers,
Yep.
and New York State NYS OGS, I don't remember what that stands for, but they said permit was not required.
Okay, good. All right, we have to do a secret on this. Derek, you want to do a secret on this?
Interesting enough, DEC in their approval, they said,
I'm sorry?
in their approval for the permit, DEC actually made a determination.
Oh, they did already?
Yeah,
Oh, really?
we'll do it, we'll do ours.
Yeah, sure.
The Town of Webster Planning Board to consider a request by Douglas Webster to construct a 4-foot wide by 30-foot long dock extension on a 0.56 acre parcel having SBL number 078.18-1-69.1 located at 1044 Sunset Trail. The planning board classifies the proposed action as a type 2 action under section 617.5C9 of the state environmental quality review regulations, and therefore is not subject to further review.
Okay, there'll be a motion in a second.
Second.
And a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good with that. We'll make a motion for an extension of the dock.
Make a motion for the extension of the dock at
30 feet.
So, 1044 Sunset Trail, Webster, New York. Just as presented.
Yeah, it's that. The applicant has received all approvals from DEC, Army Corps of Engineers, Office of General Services. Has received all its permits and everything. So what's required is a permit from the town, and the motion is for that, correct?
Second.
We have a motion, we have a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, you're all set.
Thank you. Where do I obtain the permit from the town?
I'm sorry?
Where do I obtain
Oh,
the
just,
permit?
you could just
With
see
Josh?
Josh, right there. Yeah.
All right, thank you
Okay,
very
you're all
much.
set, thank you. All right. Okay, you want to go to the next one?
Okay, last item on tonight's agenda is County Line Road accessory structure located at 743 County Line Road. The applicant, Aaron Ferretti, is requesting preliminary final site plan approval, along with a public hearing associated with the demolition of an existing detached garage and the construction of an 848 square foot accessory structure on a 2.5 acre parcel located in a large lot residential district under sections 350-13 and 350-36 of the Code of the Town of Webster.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, my name is Brian White from the Manor Associates. I'm here tonight with the property owner, Kirk Willis. We're here tonight presenting a proposed pole barn structure. As mentioned previous, it's supposed to be 848 square feet. We did appear before the Zoning Board of Appeals on March 14th and received a side setback variance for the accessory structure at 5.1 feet. We're here tonight seeking approval for this structure. Unique characteristics, this part, the majority of this property is within the 100-year floodplain, and the northwest corner of the structure is shown to be mapped within that area. We have made a revision since our zoning board application of the footprint and overall size has remained the same, but we did elevate the finished floor of the structure by 1 foot to be above our floodplain requirements. We previously had flood vents shown on the building. Now we've elevated it 12 inches, so we don't need those flood vents any longer. Outside of that, the structure's not to exceed 19 feet. The existing structure is 22 feet 6 inches. Available to answer any questions you may have.
Now, the hash, that's existing, 431, right?
That's correct.
So your actual addition is the balance.
So we're proposing to demolish the existing structure and then rebuild a new pole barn to include a portion of the previous footprint.
Okay, so basically that's the footprint of the new building?
That's correct.
Right there, right?
Yep.
And that's currently where the existing is, obviously, that's what you got there, yeah. All right. All right, anybody, any issues?
I'm pretty familiar with that property,
Uh-huh.
especially the property next to it. I don't see any issues with putting that accessory building there. It's surrounded, what used to be the Union Health Fire Department's fairgrounds. It's probably going to wind up going into some kind of commercial or industrial use before it's all done. So it doesn't bother any of the residents anywhere. It's a good fit for the area.
Now,
It's going to be surrounded by industrial properties.
4 Mile Creek floodway, that's designated, then you've got the other line, limited of 100-year floodplain. Does that have any impact on the building?
Yes, so they're both regulated. The floodway and the floodplain are both regulated areas. The floodway is more regulated,
Yeah.
so we're not going to encroach within that area, but we are going to encroach on the 100-year floodplain, and that will require a floodplain development permit from the town, and as well as a notation of 2-foot freeboard requirement from New York State, so we have accommodated for the design to work within the floodplain.
So that's taken care of in-house then, Josh, by you guys?
Yes, we would
All right.
review and
There's nothing that we have to deal with as
correct.
far as that. Okay.
Is the siding on this gonna match the house?
Yes, I do have a few colors if you'd like to see them, but the end goal is to have the siding of the pole barn match the color scheme of the house.
All right. Anybody, any questions on this?
Is there electricity or heat out there, water or anything?
I don't believe there's gonna be a water service, but there will be electricity running the building.
I think it's somewhere, right, you're gonna use it for a workshop or something in there?
General storage and workshop area.
All right, guess that's it. Anybody, any other questions? It's not a public hearing?
Public hearing.
It is a public hearing, so I don't know if there's anyone here wishing to speak either for or against. I don't see anybody, but just for the record. And I guess I'm gonna close it, bring it back up to the board. Anybody, any other concerns? Okay. Have to do a secret at it? Eric, want to do that?
The Town of Webster Planning Board consider a request by Aaron Ferrante to demolish an existing detached garage and construct an 848 square foot accessory structure on a 2.5 acre parcel having SBL number 066.03-1-46 located at 743 County Line Road. The planning board classifies a proposed action as a type 2 action under section 617.5C12 of the State Environmental Quality Review Regulations, and therefore is not subject to further review.
Second.
Okay, a motion, a second, all in favor?
Aye.
And a motion for, preliminary, well, actually, it's
Preliminary.
yeah, I got to do both, so you're doing preliminary. You want to make it, Dave? But you want to put in there that, you know, he has received, just for the record, that he's received variance for the side setback.
I make a motion for the County Line Road accessory structure at 743 County Line Road. The lot is restricted to one accessory building. The building is to conform to the size and location presented on the plan. The placement of the building shall conform to all setback requirements and will receive a variance for side setback. The building shall not be placed nearer to the front property line than the rear line of the footprint of the main building or residence upon the lot. No point in the building will be higher than the existing structure. No commercial use shall occur in the parcel. Accessory building shall be used for personal use only as defined by the town code. Significant construction shall occur within 1 year as deemed by the planning board to expire on April 9th, 2025. Comply with all requirements of any state, county, and town agency. All site work to be in compliance with the standards of the town of Webster. Subject to all engineering and governmental approvals. Subject to all appropriate governmental fees. Subject to the resolution of final approval minutes. That's the motion.
All right, that's a motion, need a second.
Second.
And a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Good with that, final.
Motion for final approval of County Line Road accessory structure, 743 County Line Road, subject to all of the preliminary approval statements.
Okay. All right, have a motion?
Second.
Second. Motion is second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, you're all set.
Thank you.
Good luck. All right, is there anything else we need to bring up, anything?
Approval of the meeting minutes for March the 5th.
All right,
I make a motion to approve the amended minutes from our March 5th meeting, 2024.
okay, we need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good? That's it? Okay, I guess we're all set. Well, thank you for coming in.